Hello, I'm Julia Cordova. Thank you so much for subscribing to my YouTube channel and liking my videos. I really appreciate it. Y'all, somebody told me that when I say hello, I sound like I'm greeting an alien civilization. That can't be possible. This is the internet. No, I think that's so funny. Greetings, Earthlings. So nice to meet you. Anyway, I had a really tough week last week, just on a personal level. And, I traded throughout the week, but it was hard for me. And I just want to say that I really appreciate your support. And just interacting with everybody just made me forget about some things that I wanted to forget about. And I really appreciate it. So, anyway, this week I'm going to talk about I'm going to talk about the fact that I actually sold this dip. So it's going to be all about selling the dips and buying the rips, I think. Isn't that momentum trading, actually? That's what it seems like to me. But anyway, that's what I'm going to talk about. So here we go. All right. Okay. All right. Let's start off by looking at the weekly ES futures or SPX futures. And first, when I looked at that, I'm like at this, I'm like, y'all, it kind of looks a little bull flaggy. There's certainly no confirmation here for any sort of bearish activity. I mean, it did get back below this previous high line, if that means anything to anybody. But you know what? When I started to look at it a little bit more, you see this pattern here, these red and then this green. It's not a hammer. What is it, an upside down dragonfly? I don't know. But these three candles sort of remind me, and the upticks here sort of remind me of these two red and then the green. You see that? So the kind of two red and then this hammer thing. It's eerily reminiscent of that to me. And then when I looked at the RSI, if you see here, I was going to point at the screen, y'all. I was going to point at it. Anyway, I put my mouse here. You can see what happened here. See how it hit RSI support here and then kind of bleeped up and then way down. And then if I put my mouse here, you can see it. Remember I was saying that it got just below the ambulance line, but that really could be about like how I place the ambulance line, y'all. I'm not, I don't know. Sometimes I don't place it in the very best place. But anyway, see how it got right below, like on support, bounced back up, not significantly, kind of eerie. That doesn't mean that the same thing is going to happen again. I'm just going to keep an eye on it because, it looks sort of beautiful from a fractal perspective, fractally, and that is when sort of patterns repeat themselves, not exactly, but sort of on different scales. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. That would actually back up some of my theories on my daily, but we'll talk about that on the daily. Okay, so the pivots I'm watching for this week on the weekly, really, this is still not super bearish until it's below 3,080. And remember, I have that open 3184 hourly gap that I've been looking out for, and we haven't quite hit it yet. That would be somewhere around here where I've got my mouse now. So you know what, right at this sort of previous flaggy thing, breakout thing. It looks like it's a thing. 3,200 is a thing, 3184 is a thing. It looks like it's a thing. Seems like it's a thing. All right, let's look at the daily. Okay. Oh, I should have gotten that. I should have moved it. Oops. There. I should have moved it over a little bit more. Okay. So what have we got here? It bounced from Eric's roaring back to life tweet so far. It's held that level. Below that, and I would expect a test of the finish line, which changes every day, but for Monday, for example, it would be, let me get it exactly, about 32, 34 or so. I think I don't know. I'm gonna move that around later, but I would expect, and it did hold, and it looks like it got, you know, quite the bounce there. And I know it was end of day on Friday, but let's see what happens. And then below this finish line, you guys, I have to recreate my musical note line still. I haven't done that. I was lazy. Like I said, I've been having problems. I have problems. It'll be okay, probably. All right, let's look at Nasdaq. Okay, now I had posted this on Twitter. I posted the like Head and Shoulders E-type thing. I had to redraw it because I forgot to save it. But anyway, oops. Now I'm okay. But anyway, I did draw in this potential bear flag in here. I mean, it's kind of, it, you know, from where I drew it here, I don't love it because it looks like the flag is too much for the pole. But anyway, this is the value I'm watching. This for Monday, it's 11,106.9. Huh, I didn't actually do that on purpose. Anyway, as long as it closes above this, I'm not super duper bearish, but I did add a little bit to my short at end of day on Friday, just because I was like, it looked weak to me. I mean, it bounced, but it looked weak to me, and yeah, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. I could be wrong. I don't think I said anything about it on Twitter. I just did point out this certainly, it could absolutely bounce. It could absolutely go all the way back here and beyond, but this does not look bullish to me just from here. So the neckline officially, let's see, is it an official, like, I mean, I think it's more, this is important. Below this, I do think it's going to head all the way back down to this previous 10,659, and then we'll see. So what am I looking to, when am I looking to buy, and why would I buy if this is so crappy looking? Because the trend is up. The trend is up. I would look actually to see whether or not when it hits, firstly, this gift line, because now the gift line is above the other support lines that I was looking at. That'd be about 10,524. So I would look to reverse, at least short term. But I'll watch it before then. Maybe it'll fly up before then, and I'll have to change my mind. It's possible. It's possible. But if it does go down, if there is some sort of sell-off for whatever reason, I'll take a look here, depending on how fast it is, by the way. Depending on how fast it is. But I mean, I'll talk about that more because I'll have to watch the smaller time frames. But I'll start watching it here at the gift line for sure if I don't see some action here. And then below that, I mean, this is nice actually, because this doctor's line, that's like, is this thing healthy? That might be where I would look to stop out a little bit and reverse. But I would definitely take a good look at it if it reaches the ambulance line, because I would expect that would be a boing, boing line. Okay. Now let's see. I'm just trying to think if I have anything smart to say about RSI. Oops. Why is it? I don't like that. Here. Nope. Sure don't have anything smart to say about it. Okay. Now let's look at the DXY. You know, guys, I read everybody's, not everybody's, I do peruse the Twitter machine, as you know, and somebody said DXY is crashing. I'm crashing? What? And then I look at it, I'm like, I mean, it's going down, but zoom the F out. It's in a freaking bull flag, I think. I mean, I'm not an expert, but pole flag. I mean, did they say it was not, like, reverse crashing when it did this hammer thing? I don't know. It looks to me like it's still in a normal range of motion, you know, like a daily range. Looks to me fine. I don't see anything. I don't see any crashing activity. This this I would say would be a waterfall activity, but I don't know. I don't see any crashing. If you hear heavy breathing, it's him. It's Wallaby. I'm letting him in because it's been like monsooning here for the past few days, and he had anxiety, so he wanted to stay in with me, and I'm sorry. So just try to not listen. Okay. Anyway, from the Dixie, I would just if it gets above this flag area, it certainly looks to me like it's basing for a whoop. So I actually still like it for hitting this pink, but we'll see. I mean, this also looks like, this could be a Head and Shoulders. It's messy, and it's got like, a double-edged shoulder, a double-horned head. I mean, who knows if it has another double-edged shoulder in it. It's messy, but it's sort of like you have to sometimes like squint, and those Wallaby, don't stop breathing, but don't do it loud. Okay, sorry. Anyway, it's messy, but you know how you squint at pictures and you're like, that's what it kind of looks like. That's what it still kind of appears Head and Shoulder-y-ish to me, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean, it could certainly fail this flag, and if it closes below where I would consider the bottom of this flag to be, let's put a price marker on it. I didn't do this thing exactly, but let's see. Wallaby, quiet breath. Love you. All right, let's see, price label. Okay, so for Monday, let me make it big. For Monday, it would be about 92.69. So close below 92.69 to me would say, failing the flag. Failing the flag. But until then, I mean, yeah, it closed under the MAs, but it's still respecting that channel-y thing that would be a flag. So, we'll have to see. That's how I still feel about it. Okay, let's look at gold. This is weekly gold futures. I did draw on this line last week so we could tell whether or not there was a breakout, and it did close above that, but not above that pink line that I really wanted to see it close above. It still looks to me like, I mean, if it was a breakout, it wasn't a convincing breakout. So I don't know. It's still just not doing anything worth trading, in my opinion. I'm still hoping that I can see, let me make this for next week. If it closes above 1977 next week, I'm going to have to change my tune, I think. We'll have to watch and see what it does, but it's still just kind of nothing great. I'm still hoping to catch a dip in silver. Let's look at silver. This is the weekly silver chart. I put my tabs before I started, but I didn't get them all like in the right area. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I mean, higher high, higher low, but really, I mean, I just really would like it to catch a dip. Let me just put where the first area I would look would be if it does in fact go. It still hasn't touched even the 9 MA. It still hasn't touched it. Now, in a way, you could say it's holding strength, but I will tell you, from having been a trader for a long time, whenever I buy something in the middle of something that I think is holding strength, it always sucks butt cheeks. Like, it just sucks. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just bad at that, and I don't know, but I still would dramatically prefer, instead of keeping my money in something that's just moving sideways, I still would dramatically prefer to wait and buy a breakout or to buy a dip. That's just me, because when I buy strength, it just doesn't happen. So, you know what, for you silver bulls, I won't buy strength. Okay? I hope it happens. I'm a silver bull. What am I talking about? But I'm saying I'm only one scale of 3 in, so I'm waiting. All right, so let's look at oil. This is also a weekly chart of oil futures. So we finally have some activity here to speak of. This was really boring for a long time. But it looks like to me that, this price action, this bouncy off of this line and keeping the 20 MA, is it the 20? Just confirm. yeah. So anyway, it respected the 20. I'm going to say if it goes below that now, that would be telling me I think that I could look to buy here or somewhere around here if it in fact gets above again the magical pivot of 42.16 next week. I'm going to say maybe it'll start to really do some uppy things again. Or maybe it's got some more consolidation. And the net is, I really don't know, but uh, any kind of lower low than last week, and I'd say bearish, and above here and holding above here bullish. Okay, let's look at Natty. I did not have the mental strength to even tweet about it because right about I think here or so, I said I had seen Nathan. No, it was here. It was here. And I did. Oh, Nathan had babies. There were little baby Nathans. I saw one in my hallway and one in my bathroom. Like one of the bathrooms that had a little baby, little cute little Nathan. And so Nathan had babies. He wasn't just fat. But I had seen his head poke out from, I don't know if they're the same babies. I don't know if there's like families of Nathans. I don't know. But anyway, I thought Nathan was fat. But maybe Nathan was Natalia or Natasha or Natalie. I don't know. But anyway, he's fired as an indicator. Fired. Probably not. You know I'm going to talk about him still because I really have like an obsession. But anyway, he was a reverse indicator here. And I did say to somebody just in DM, you know, who I've been DMing with, I'm like, oh, it's not good that it hasn't been able to get away from this. I mean, really, it failed the flag. And this 2.266 level was important. And I said to that person, if it doesn't hold that, it's going to 217. And it did. And then it just cut right through it. So anyway, I am bullish long term, but of course I stopped out of my position, then I switched over to futures. So I'm only long one contract of natural gas. I took it right around this area and held it through some pain and then some not pain. So we'll have to see what happens. This area is 1.985 on the continuous chart. I'm just going to move it over here. Oops. So we'll see. And then, you know, I mean, it's just, it failed the flag. That is very bullish. Very bearish if it fails any kind of flag. Bearish in general. Now, I will say, for those of you who are cuckoo for coconuts, crazy about Natty, I noticed something before, and I don't have the mental energy to actually recreate my chart and make it more simple so that you can really see it. But do you see a long time ago, I had, let me see, this shape, okay, here. Do you see this shape here from a long time ago, this megaphone shape that I had drawn in, and then it got above the megaphone, and then it just tanked. I kind of noticed a very similar thing happening here. I did not have, you know what, let's do it now, because I just didn't have the energy before, but, okay, let's see. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I didn't, maybe I'm not even thinking clearly, but when I kind of eyeballed it and squinted at it, I was like, you know, it did something similar here, where it got above this pink piggy line, and then when it gets back below that pink piggy line, that's like super not, actually, but it was this one. I'm not even making sense right now. But when it gets above one of these lines and gets back below, that is bearish. However, I am superdy-ooperdy, I'm very bullish longer term, Natty. I do still believe it's going sky high. So, and it didn't actually fill all of this gap. It did like a partial gap fill, like a psychopath would. So it's got some more uppage to go, but how long it takes to get there is anybody's guess. And right now I'm just long one contract of it, and we'll see how it works out over the weekend. Now, speaking of mental anguish, Here's coffee. Oh, you know, it was almost, you know, I could feel it last week, and I said it, I go, even if it goes below the channel, I'm not going to worry too much as long as it closes back above in it. So somehow during the week, I was like, you know, let me go ahead and draw in this redemption channel. As of Thursday even, it had held, it looked like it hit it exactly. I was really proud of myself. Like, I was like, wow, look at that. Look at my redemption holding it. I didn't tweet about it because I'm like, there's one more day left. One more day. And it didn't hold. It didn't hold. So let's talk about potentially, and I am still long one scale, but I did stop out where I had bought before my second scale. So I was 2 scales in. I stopped out of my second scale right pretty much where I bought it for. So I'm not proud. I'm not proud. No, yeah, right here about, yeah, here. So I made a little bit of money on it, but not proud. I'm not proud. So anyway, this is not a bullish looking candle, and I was looking through previous not bullish looking candles that came out of sort of uptrends, and there are some, you know, I was trying to figure out in an uptrend when it starts to really go, like what can we expect? What can we do? And, you know, if I zoom out here and just squint, I do kind of see what looks like head and shoulders, but I haven't really done that much analysis on coffee to see whether or not head and shoulders patterns are something that the algos like. I will say that it's sitting at this time which is why I kept a scale, pretty much right below the RSI support here, but again, like so lightly below that it really could be an issue of whether or not you know, I drew the line correctly or thickly enough. So let me just go ahead and clone this. Okay, all right, and make it go up. Don't want to miss it. Okay. Okay. So if it does in fact start to kind of head down here, and I put a trash can here just because I wanted to remind myself, stop it, if it gets below, but I'm not going to stop at, I'm going to keep this third scale because I have the FOMO, because I really do believe in coffee and inflation, all those things longer term. But we'll have to see, because if the dollar, you know, continues up, all of the commodities will down, right? I think, I don't know, I'm not a fundy person. I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe that's the deflation thing that everybody's talking about. Some people are talking about inflation, some people are talking deflation. I don't know. I just stare at charts. I don't know. But anyway, if it bounces here, I'll be very pleased. But I won't be like, ooh, let me just buy everything back until it gets back in the channel. And if it does, I would expect a zippity rippity zippity doo. Yep. Anyway, I'll start watching it again here at this MA, this 20 MA for the weekly, and then I don't think it definitely won't get all the way down to support there. So what I would do is start to watch it there on lower time frames, see if I see something, and if I see something, I'll say something, probably, unless I'm like having a psychological, mental problems. Anyway, but I'll look to buy it here if I see it hitting here, and I'll look for support and all that stuff to see whether or not I can back it up with price. But this looks pretty bearish for next week. Hopefully, best case scenario would be something like a hammer candle that would sort of help it out. I mean, I don't know. That's not the best. I mean, it could. I don't know. But this week looked bearish, so I'm gonna look to see whether or not. Hopefully, it just heads right back up. But if it doesn't, I'll see whether or not I can find a bottom catch for people again, because I was pretty good right here. I got it right here, but I did want it to hold this channel. I wanted it to just, you know, I wanted more of this and less of that. All right, that's it. I hope you have a fantastic week. Thank you again so much for liking my videos and subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate it. And I will see you on the interwebs. Okay, bye. Oh, I forgot to make myself big. I'm gonna do, so let me do it. Okay, bye.